Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to another edition of Very Sky Rita Lee's. I'm the Admiral, as you can say, or it could be considered an Admiral's log or a Captain's log or whatever. So, there was a Star Trek joke talking about Star Trek stuff recently, but we won't go into it. So, this is part two, okay? And part two is going to talk about um, a little more about mental health. Part three I'm going to do is going to be about, I think, stimuluses and the pandemic. So, um, like I said, last night's adventure was quite entertaining, but at the same time, I needed to talk to someone that actually had some actual, you know, a medical background, and I had some really great people last night. They weren't rude, they weren't crude, Chloe, on the other hand, had rude people, but Chloe's rude all the time too. I mean, literally, she wants to turn around and claim her quote unquote mental illness is causing her to do everything, and yet, if her mental illness is causing her to do so much, then why is she, you know, why is she even, bothering? So I was gonna go shopping today, by the way, a for a pair of pliers. Pliers I have in this toolkit won't do its job. And frankly, with my ingrown toenail that I have that's problematic, doctor said if I get a pair of pliers in there properly, it'd be cheaper to do it at home than to not be you know. And my husband's pliers went missing. I mean, so it's just pretty clearly funny. I found it to be the funniest thing in the world. Hey, hope these can work. Nope. So, anyways, doesn't matter. That broke. Yes, they don't make them like they used to. Anyways, so anyways, doesn't matter, right? Right. So let's just get to talking about what's going on. So, as you all know, this is part two of the mental health thing. So she turns around, and got a rude awakening, and then dear old mom turned around, last night and was like, well, you have rules to follow. Well, thing is her mom knows she's autistic, and the mental clinics out here, they just don't want to help someone that won't help themselves. So I'm kind of afraid in my own way due to the fact that Social Security, uh, the doctor said he had to report it, because, I'm taking care of Chloe and I'm doing everything for Chloe. I'm not getting anything for myself done, you know. And so, hold on a sec, everyone. While you were showering, what is it now? But bath or shower? Sorry about that. So I had to ask her about why she, this is the other thing. Okay, laughing out loud. All right. Doctor turns around last night at the hospital and says, "You're trying too hard to do. Well, I'm a woman. I need 20 hours on the shower and 30 hours in the shower." And the guy's like, "If you're taking your dumpy time to prove you're a fucking woman, that just shows that you don't know anything about women." I mean, literally, he said to me, "So, Rita, when was the last time you took a bath?" I said, "Today." I was wearing a little perfume. He said, "Oh." I said, "I usually get one like every 3 or 4 days, maybe a week, depending on my smell and if I can climb into the tub first." And then the guy turned around, and he was like, you expect everyone to give in to you, you expect everyone to give in to you, and you expect everyone to entailment, you're entitled for every fucking thing. He's like, well, I'm a princess. And he's like, no, you want to be a princess. You're not going to be treated like princess. I mean, literally, the guy basically had his own ideas, and it did not answer properly, and I thought it was the fucking funniest thing in the world, too. I mean, the guy was great. I mean, literally. DCR, same thing. The guy said, Chloe will never ever get her head out of her ass, and will never get rid of her phone, and, I mean, literally, Chloe, I told Chloe I can order her a clam phone. Chloe's like, no, I don't want a clam phone. Actually, it wouldn't be too bad getting a clam phone, because it might benefit her. I mean, literally. I mean, do we really need a fucking, phone, touchscreen with a pin and everything? That's what I chose, because, people say, where'd you get the pin? Because I wanted the pin. And I wanted to, it's the way it is. But Chloe, I mean, literally, people say, well, I mean, basic flip phone right there. 6 hours, perfect. You just throw it. I might need one of those myself. Flips right in my purse. I mean, literally, and if it gets too much damage, you don't have to worry about it. That'd be perfect for me. Right there is just looking. But Chloe, she has to have the touch phone. She has to have all the apps, and then she demands I make sure in 15 days what do you call it? The internet's paid. It's like, look, not internet, the phone. It's like, look, in the last fucking 14 days, I've gone through fucking 3 of these phones because the dog dropped, knocked it out of the hands, or or whatever excuse, the puddle one, that was weird. But you know what I'm talking about, it fuck falls in a puddle. I don't see her phones ever breaking. I mean, she basically, and then mine breaks, and, I even asked it, oh, well, Chloe, I think it was an accident. Look, I don't break phones, okay? But, honestly, Chloe turns around, and last night she's talking about clam phones. So I said, okay, I'll order you one. I mean, literally, I'll order 2 clam phones. We can save money by not paying the data for the phone that we don't need. I mean, the phone's for what? Phone's for one reason. And that is that's one reason we have the phone. And that is to call, right? The only reason why I had a the only reason I have a phone in general is for email. I wanted my email to be sent. Literally, I wanted my email to be on the go. So if I'm sitting around, for example, and I'm and I'm out and about, right? I can actually activate the camera and check for packages, and basically check email and be like, oh yeah, or I could sit there and Chloe be like, yeah, it's a coffee shop, like, yeah, I want 8 boots. I can just click, order, be like, done, slurp my coffee. Whereas, the point is, that's the only reason why to have something like smartphone, tablet to do with the job with 3G, 4G, or 5G. Whereas, I mean, and if I travel to, like, Portland to see the doctor, I can have Wi-Fi on the go, so I could use my Wi-Fi with Chromebook. Unfortunately, with Chloe, of course, Chloe's, got so many issues that, I mean, I mean, my family, yeah, I mean, you know what? The emergency room said they were grateful my family was coming out. They said this might be the time I need to actually relax and figure out what to do. Because if I keep slowly but surely doing every job for Chloe, Chloe will be slowly but surely probably be plumped into a nursing home or a group home because of it. You know, Chloe doesn't want that, but Chloe's not even trying. You know, she's like, it's like she's given up because of depression because of a grocery store, which the guy said he had to put in a report to whoever on the agency part that Chloe's got to rely on me to order everything in that can be brought in, you know, through different channels because he said Chloe doesn't know what to do or even thought about doing what to do, you know. And again, I'm trying to wonder why nothing's being done. What is it this time? What? Oh, you're showering. Again, about the disturbing thoughts again. I already know what they are. Ugh, why do I gotta go through this on a daily fucking basis? I mean, literally. Chloe goes to the emergency room last night, tells them, right? They're just like, yeah. Now she's like, yeah, I don't want to do the showers. I got disturbing thoughts in my head. Yes, we know what those thoughts are. The problem is, I can't help her. I mean, literally, she sits there and tells me, you're not letting me into your head because I have nothing in my. Do you see me sitting here going, life sucks? No, I'm sitting there going, I mean, literally, she doesn't want me talking about anything. Literally, that's why one of my moderators, jokingly, of course, I think he was joking, sent me a message about how to make something or other for, it was like a recipe for murder. And as a minister, I will not commit murder for anyone. I thought it was a joke, you know. I mean, literally, that's what I thought. I mean, literally, I'm not the type that would do anything of the sort, but you get the idea. I mean, literally. I mean, there's a lot of people that message me that are saying, like, well, you're going through so much abuse, and even doctors say that, but, you know, the thing is you got to look at the mental health problem of, you know, of her. I mean, literally. I mean, doctors think she tries too much, you know, throw on a dress and, oh, look at me, I'm a woman. I mean, you could have a fat man with a beard put in a sorry, I'm laughing for a second. Putting on a Sailor Moon outfit. Talking about a fat man. There is one that actually is the most kindest guy in the world. But I'm talking about one of Chloe's ex-roommates, friends or something, you know, wants to be a Japanese girl. So I was picturing them in a Sailor Moon suit, being like, hi, I'm Sailor Moon. F, 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 F. I mean, literally. I mean, the way Chloe announced it sounds funny, but I'm not trying to make fun of the person either. I'm just saying, you know, it was just something that was clicked in my head. I mean, see, that's kind of funny. You know, you think of something funny like Sailor Moon and a guy in a Sailor Moon suit, yet Chloe, on the other hand, you know, it's just like, I mean, literally. Chloe's ex-roommates got a lot of information. If any mental place wanted it, they said they might do it one day is contact her because they'd like to know how much abuse she suffered before she shipped the son of a bitch off to, San Diego. And she had a right to send the son of a bitch off to San Diego. One, uh, reason for it was other issues. So, you know, sorry. So, anyways. So I got to answer a couple questions. So, one of my moderators, who's a family member that knows I go live, turned around and I got that Steam something, that somebody. I don't even know if I can actually use the Steam. What is it called? Steam Live or something. StreamYard. So StreamYard's what it's called. So basically, I have StreamYard. Because I have StreamYard, it is hard, having StreamYard. But anyways, let's just continue. So I have StreamYard. I don't know if that would work anyways, but I'm not thinking about it. What I'm thinking about is, what happened. So, moderator Pee Wee messaged me, and I told her, I'm doing offline videos due to the fact that we have a massive uh, issue with Chloe. She said, "Oh, Chloe have a temper tantrum." Yeah, pretty much. And, that's because I'll tell you the story on the mental health side. So Chloe turned around and had a temper tantrum last night, talking about the APS lady and stuff. The guy basically said he's a mandated reporter. He's got to let the APS lady know that Chloe was talking on YouTube. Well, YouTube flagged it, and video went down. Fortunately, YouTube has the right to flag videos. I ain't gonna fucking question their judgment. And I'm trying to cut my swearing out on videos too. So, these videos are not made for children. So, what happened? And I don't monetize anyway. So, turns around basically. So, if I swear by mistake, I'm trying offline videos. I really am. Live, it's, but. So, Chloe turns around and has a mental breakdown basically, and I was having a breakdown. So, I was talking to moderator Joe, and Joe was saying this and that. Well, Chloe heard everything. When I got off the phone with Chloe's called mental hospitals, calling this place, calling that place, and she called Joe too. And Joe was like, Chloe got mad because when Chloe got off the phone, Chloe was getting ready to fucking, carve herself up with a knife, basically, because she was angry. She's like, that motherfucker is a double-edged sword. I heard the whole conversation between you and him because your hearing is dead. And I'm like, yeah, I need to get a hearing aid batteries. She says, yeah, I heard everything. And yet he turns around. He's like, oh, you need to leave. You need to. Chloe's like, that motherfucker. I don't want to talk to this bastard again. I mean, she was literally like me. I was thinking of getting rid of my phone. Literally, I just got it yesterday, and I was thinking of just tossing it in the ocean, saying, fuck it. I don't want a phone anymore. And she's like, don't. So she's like, I'll take care of this. Well, with my mental stability being, her attacking APS lady and her fucking belittling this and doing that, I was fucking like, but Chloe's angry. Chloe's fucking angry. And I don't sugarcoat anything. Chloe is fucking angry. Chloe's like, that son of a bitch. So we ended up in the emergency room. She called up all the mental places to get there. They evaluated both of us, and the guy was very nice to me. I mean, he was like the most down to earth person, but he was a mandated reporter, so he's like, I gotta let Social Security know that Chloe can't take care of herself. I mean, literally. I mean, I have to remind Chloe to take a shower, right? Yet, she doesn't remind me for nothing. And then she gets like, the guy basically says, you expect everyone to give everything to you on a silver platter. Chloe's like, I'm a princess. He's like, no, you're a fucking little boy in a fucking sweatshirt thinking it's a dress, wearing a pair of panties that's showing your ass cheeks because you think you're truly a man. A female. You're not, you're a man. And she's just sitting there taking it like a, like she's calling the guy a discriminating bastard, and he says, I'm not discriminating, I'm telling you the truth. I mean, he said, look at Rita. Rita's post-op. Rita's fucking dealing with you as a whipping. You're whipping her as a whipping post. You're using her as a tongue post, a lashing post, and she's sitting there standing, and you're literally almost broken. And yet, literally, she got angry the other day and put a hole in the door. Her answer was it was an accident. He's like, it ain't a fucking accident when you fucking get angry and you sit there and you go. I mean, it'd be like me sitting with my fist and I just go up. Well, let me put it this way, okay? Chloe was so angry last night, right? I literally almost got in the way because I had to calm her down. She said she was angry. She's like, That motherfucker is a double-edged sword. And I blocked it, and I said, don't. I said, I'll take the blow, but, eventually, the guy's like, well, that's where you don't do anything. The guy says you can do two things. You can keep off your phone and keep off your social media, or you can fucking deal with it differently. I mean, literally, Chloe was angry. I mean, me, I haven't turned my phone on. I refuse to turn it on due to the fact that I don't want to turn it on unless I go out. I'm at the point in my life where I don't want to fucking turn on my phone and fucking do anything with it. I, on the other hand, don't care. And the other problem I have with YouTube, everyone, is YouTube's fucking slow. There's too many fucking people in this pandemic uploading so much crap. This is about Nintendo Direct. I don't care. There you go. This works. I don't have to click on a video just to find it. So let me see. Yeah. So, yeah. So, anyways, like I said, out of love for everyone, you know, I just figured. Yep. So, one of my moderators, who I won't give names, basically said, Chloe needs to grow up. That's one of the things that the director said at the fucking, the DCR said last night at the hospital. She needs to fucking grow up. And look, she comes in there wanting to be placed in a mental hospital because she doesn't want to clean. And these fuckers said, you just don't want to clean. You don't want to do anything, so fuck you. And she's like, oh, well, I'm so mentally ill. And they're like, yeah, you're mentally ill. You fucking did it on purpose to fucking tell the lady that you're a true female and you're going to wiggle your ass because guys want your ass to wiggle, and yet you got thrown out of 2 grocery stores and 3 other businesses because you dress like a whore. You were warned. Literally, so. Literally, and that guy turned around, and he was just like, look, you're going to end up in a group home if you keep this up. Literally. We are in a pandemic, okay? And, you know, literally, the guy basically, you know, let's see, here we go. So, all right. Ugh, come on. I wanted fucking something. You know, I'm starting to dislike, what do you call it, guys? Gaming websites. I mean, I basically look at gaming websites, as you guys know, and, honestly, some of the gaming websites fucking suck. Alright, let's just get back to talking. So, that basically, you got a guy, okay, who, Chloe basically was angry due to the fact she called him a double-edged sword because, the guy said, look, guy's like telling Chloe it's okay not to do anything, right? Thing is, and go in her room, and the guy says, look, if we had the fucking manager go in and have an inspection, they know the manager personally, you'd fail it. And Chloe's like, yeah, we'd fail it because, it takes like 8 of us to clean, and I can't do it. I mean, literally, they're like, look, if you can't fucking clean because you got thrown out of a grocery store, then you need to be fucking put in a group home because you fucking got yourself. I mean, look, they turned around and they basically stated to me that if it wasn't for me, Chloe would be fucking going hungry. I mean, she asked me to order pallets of ramen for her and she won't touch it. They said the ramen will go stale before she eats it. And you know what's really upsetting to them? Is the other day, I was telling them I ate about 60% of all the salad in the last 2 weeks. 60%, right? And and I said I threw out probably a good about 3 pounds of salad or so, Ziploc. They had a fit. They're like, you wasted money. Because like, oh, well, it's not good, man. They're like, why don't you eat it? Well, I'm not really a rabbit. And then I turned around and I said, hey, I said, you're cool. And he says, yeah. And the doctors were taking questions and asking us, the Setsunai ramen bar noodle shop? And they're like, oh, yeah, we love that place. I said, they were talking about the pickup at the Brickworks, the Farmer's Food Hub. I said, yeah, Chloe had like 9 of them. I said, I just went through them all, and we got rid of like 6. He turned around and he says they wasted 3 times 9, $270 in ramen. Yeah. Money to them, it doesn't matter. They basically had to put that down on a fucking note. I mean, literally, they had to put down that Chloe, I mean, no offense to anyone, right? But they turned around and they were like, she wasted that much on the food. I said, yeah. And they were furious. They're like, that needs to be noted too for the report because, they think, if Chloe's this fucking mentally ill, and she claims she's mentally ill, it's either she's faking it or she's telling the truth. If she's telling the truth, she needs extra help, which means they have to force her to get help by having certain things do things. I mean, literally. What they said is, if some jackass, this is what the doctors told Chloe, some jackass tells her, stay in her room when she can't even close the door. She's got fucking toilet paper, paper towels, bags of chips, everything blocking it. She'd have to have that fucking room clean and fucking stuff put in a storage shed that she has to even use her room. That's how bad it is in my room, or office. And yet, here's the other thing, right? She turns around and, Pee Wee and I were talking about it. I've been trying to teach Chloe a few valuable lessons. One was do things yourself. She doesn't want to. She's like, I'm too disabled. Yet, I go online every day. I fucking answer emails for her. I fucking phone call things, please. I mean, literally, all she wants to do is be on her phone, jack off. And that's it. Jack off on being on her phone. If you have that. And the guy said, if you want to be on your phone and jack off, you can be in a fucking group home in your own room jacking off 9 times out of 10 and no one would give a shit. As long as you, I mean, literally, look at the way it is. They're basically telling her that she's going to end up. I mean, look. My friend, who's a great guy, okay? I mean, literally, Chloe basically had a meltdown. She's just like, look, she's the one that said the son of a bitch is a double-edged sword, and the guys are agreeing, and I'm like, look, he's trying to help me out because we don't know what diagnosis she has. They said, look, Chloe meets 9 out of 9 on the borderline criteria. You think bipolar. They said, no, you're the one bipolar. You've been diagnosed bipolar a long time ago. How you maintain this long without meds is beyond us. But with Chloe, I mean, literally, they had a medical chart and med charts and stuff. They've had her on different meds over the course of 7 months. None of it worked in Ohio, and I didn't know that because, frankly, Mom didn't tell me what worked and what didn't work. They have the charts now, and they have all the notes. And I mean, literally, the emergency room was nice for the psych eval because I got to talk to someone at the same time. I got to learn stuff that I didn't know. And two is, they're basically saying if you got female doctor, male doctor, and the fucking DCR said if you have a lazy son of a bitch that's telling you to stay in your room and fucking masturbate and be on the phone and that's all you're doing, you're still putting a fucking heat on Rita by having Rita clean the apartment and fucking cook and feed you. He says, we're putting that in the report that the guy wants you to be used. He's like, I don't know this guy's name, but I would love to fucking have that son of a bitch hung out to dry myself because of it. He's like, you look at your family. They know you're going to be dead because you're taking care of Chloe. But Chloe's mom thinks of you as a saint, the whipping post. As long as she gets her coffee and here's from Chloe once in a while, it's fine. But otherwise, don't bother us. You, on the other hand, you're trying to get answers, and all you're doing is cooking, and drinking. He's like, eventually you're going to have to stop drinking because it's going to kill you. And then I said, the good Lord delivered weird things recently too, but still, in my opinion, it fucking sucks, right? Literally. I love all of you, by the way. It's, literally, these guys were great. He was just like, look, you might want to turn your phone off. He's like, but what if someone messages me? And they're like, you have a computer, don't you? Yeah, well, it's like, look, my computer's got an electrical plug problem, so I don't want to. Then get a Chromebook. When they come in stock, have Rita order you one. It's a couple $100. You can just sit on it until you can get a repair done on your computer, or you can find the right one that you want to buy. And Chloe's like, but I want one with an SSD. And they're like, look, you can't have everything that you want. This ain't Burger King. Right now, we're in a pandemic. You owe Rita so much, and Rita's trying to keep you alive by basically doing the pandemic, saving you through the pandemic. And what are you doing? You're talking to some shithead who wants to fucking tell you to fucking leave. Where are you going to go? You go into another hospital in another state, they're going to fucking put you in a group home, locked, stocked, and barreled. You'd be locked up there. Do you realize this guy might be setting you up? No. He's like, look, you said he's a double-edged sword. You heard everything from Rita, and I'm going, huh? Oh, yeah. They even asked where my hearing aid is. I said, I don't have any batteries right now. And they're like, where's the battery? I misplaced the thing. You misplaced it, or you did it on purpose? And Chloe's just sitting there like, I don't know. And they're like, look, you claim you're mentally ill. I said, she misplaced it so much, I can't find half the thing. He's like, you misplaced everything. Yeah, literally the guy was talking about everything, You wasted $300 of ramen you're not eating. Look, I said, well, we got 3 days to eat 6. There goes another 6. She's like, literally the way it's going is it's not going good, all right? And frankly, I'm not dealing with this in my own state, all right? I'm just grateful, that we had an emergency room and, we as in people, I just don't know. I just fucking don't know, anymore. Literally, I'm at my wit's end, and I'm not going to let someone basically tell me what I can and can't do in my house. If I'm barking orders, it's for a reason. I've had to take care and pick up after her for 4 years. I've had to disarm her from wanting to murder a black woman in my own home. I've had to disarm her wanting to kill a white woman because the white woman's on heroin. or something else. I mean, I've had to do so much fucking things, and yet I'm the one that's always getting hurt or thrown around or dicked around, or I'm the evil enemy, blah, blah, blah. I mean, look, I don't care, alright? I don't give two fucking shits. People want me, they can email me. Otherwise, I'm not having my phone turned on. Fuck it. I'm not turning my phone on. I don't care. What I want is a normal life. But I can't have a normal life because, I mean, listen to that. Shower's going. Not the dishwasher. The shower's going. At least YouTube didn't take too long on standard edition. You know, I'm curious about these tights I bought. They're from China. I should have known Chinese made tights. I'll see how well they look when I put them on. If they tear easy, and trust me, money was well worth wasted. But anyways, let's just talk about what's going on. We literally, you know, the guy said the clothes trying too hard to be a woman. And I'm sitting there, you know, cross-legged, you know, and he's just like, look, ma'am, you've been through hell in a handbasket, rang out so many times, you're still standing. He says, I got to respect you. I said, what am I supposed to do? I got a guy who tells me, you know, that I'm stuck with her. And he said, look, any son of a bitch turns around and tells you you're stuck with Chloe because Chloe won't get up. He's like, Chloe, I hear you came into some money. Oh, yeah, I did. Why don't you buy a plane ticket and go back home? My mom doesn't want me, you know. And he's like, well, I'm going to call her? No. I mean, literally, the whole fucking mental thing is they're basically not putting together a report thinking that, well, she's faking it. I mean, literally, because she's so mentally ill, then they're like, then you need a group home. I mean, literally, they're going to recommend that to other departments, apparently, because they're tired of her fucking... I mean, literally, they turned around and they said... They looked at Chloe and said, so you bought 5 pallets of ramen, and yet Rita's office is full of ramen, and yet you won't eat it. Well, we got meat right now. And they're like, did any of the meat go bad? And I go, 99.5% of the meat did not go bad. I ate it all up myself. I said, I feel fat, gluttonous, and my heart's slowing down because of it. And he said, what are you eating? I said, lamb. He said, yeah, some of that lamb can be fat, but it's still good. I said, I'm using the fat right now in soup, and, but, you know, and what is that, beef? I said, can't get beef. Well, he was like, well, at least you're doing what you can. I'm like, dude, I've been holding back every dime that I can, you know, and watching carefully. And he was, I mean, he was the fucking nicest guy. I mean, he was just like, you know, sorry, he was like the nicest guy I mean, lately. I mean, the doctors are great to him. The doctors are like, look, you basically want to use an excuse that you're tired and out, and they're like, you're a fucking... Even they swore. They said you're physically not fit. I mean, you're not fit. They said if I basically slowly did a little bit every day, I could use my trike, but I don't use my trike. You know, so I'm just checking to see what's available real quick at the food hub because I frankly want to see if there's anything more. Because I usually get some cucumbers once a week. That was my only purchase. And the lady's not doing too bad at cucumber sales this week. And then I like to go down here to see what's sold out. Mushrooms. Oh man, they had fresh shiitake mushrooms. Oh, son of a bitch. If I known that, I would have grabbed some. Oh, they're out of gyoza again too, I guess. I got my share of gyoza. So anyways, I'm just looking to see what they had. Oh. You got eggs here again? I don't have an egg. I want some eggs. There we go. Get some eggs while I'm at it. I want a dozen eggs. You see, I actually enjoy this because I can buy what I need. I'm frying up some eggs today anyways for breakfast. I got bacon, so I wish they'd have some bacon here, but that breakfast sausage is what I'm looking at. You know. So. There we go. My mouth worked better now that I got rid of the dust in it. Beef tenderloins. Oh. Filet mignon's dirt cheap. I might have to look into that price. What is this exactly? Beef tallow. Hey Google, what is a beef tallow?
According to Wikipedia, tallow is a rendered form of beef or mutton fat, and is primarily made up of triglycerides. It is solid at room temperature. Unlike suet, tallow can be stored for extended periods without the need for refrigeration to prevent decomposition, provided it is kept in an airtight container to prevent oxidation.
Thank you.
Glad I could help. It's my favorite thing to do.
Sometimes it comes in handy, everyone, to ask. You know, being in the food hub, I was always wondering what that was. So, you know, I'm just looking to see what else they have here. You know. So, I don't mind lamb chops, too, but we got lamb chops. I just got to make sure we have, you know. I'm really into boneless lamb loin roasts. You know, I'm going to have to ask about if we can get some boneless this time around. Otherwise, I might request one. I don't mind boneless. They're really good. You know, I don't mind a good boneless lamb boneless roast. You know, they're really good. The other thing is, I'll probably go get a lamb box too soon. It depends on if I run out. I mean, that's the thing. People sit there, you know, and I was talking to the people, you know, and you know, talking about the pandemic last night, and they said it's putting a lot of stress on me because I'm the only one fucking, you know, and I told them, you know, I told them literally, I said, look, I'm not allowed to go to the grocery stores without an advocate because they don't want me, she doesn't want me discriminated, you know, and yet two is that they can't go in, so I can't go in. And they're like, that is just fucking a control freak thing. And then have some dipshit, that's what the guy said to me talking to Chloe, you know, about letting Chloe just do nothing. He's like, look, you know, Chloe can't even pick up and clean the bathroom. She made a mess in the tub. I had to clean it up myself because she's like a fucking child. It's like my one of my mods said this morning, you know, private message to me, they are a child. I mean, they need to grow up. They don't want to grow up. They want to be a little princess to be taken care of. They think they're now female, so they should be taken care of. The guy says, you're not a female. You're a man with a dick. I mean, the guy was rude to Chloe, but the guy was making a point. He's like, look, when you can fucking sit there and you can cook and you can clean, I mean, literally, someone has to do certain things. It's not just about paying money through the nose. I mean, look, if I'm not going to see my money back, right? The guy says, then you better do your chores and pay her back that way. If you're not willing to fucking pay your chores, you better pay her back in cash. Otherwise, you're just fucking using Rita. And when you're tired of her, you discard her and you go to some other guy and you'll have some sob story again. And, you know. I mean, I had to bring up their dad. They looked up their dad on Facebook on their phone and said, your dad's pretty cute for a girl now. My dad's a man in a dress. He's like, look, you're bitter against the trans community. You're bitter because everyone had their surgeries. You're bitter because you think everything's against you. He said, look, you're the one who wants to fucking put a brick through a plate glass window at the grocery store because you're pissed. Or both grocery stores. You're pissed. He says, you gotta quit fucking living in the past. Does Rita live in the past? No, not really. He's like, you attacked Rita's dead mother. How low can you get? How low can you attack her dad? You don't see her attacking your dead grandmothers or parents. And then she had to bring up her assault from the neighbor. And he's like, I don't care. For all we know, it was consensual. Rita, where were you? I was on the floor, passed out. Well, they put a date rape drug in Rita's drink, and she passed out in the bed. Maybe Rita was sexually assaulted and don't know it. Oh, to think about it, I don't know. And it's like, Chloe goes into detail. It's like, look, you're being bitter because the justice system didn't work for you, so you're fucking bitter. You're fucking bitter because your advocates couldn't get the lift of the grocery store. I said, the advocate hasn't tried yet because we can't get in touch with the owner's daughter. Oh. And I said, I've given her the number 20 times, written it down on 20 pieces of paper. And he's like, look, you don't want to make phone calls. Rita's got to do it. You don't want to do emails. Rita's got to do it. You don't want to place orders. Rita's got to do it. You just tell Rita what you want. Rita does it like the magical little worker she is. The little, as the guy said, he basically quoted George W. Bush. Karl Rove. She's like the female Karl Rove, the little word fairy. And said she's the fucking order fairy that orders everything. It doesn't. And asked to. I said I did a video the other day where I clearly stated, I asked permission to place the order so people don't, because our accounts joint. He's like, you see, Rita's fucking doing this, fucking doing that, fucking doing this, and yet you don't have any respect for her. I said she asked me to buy her a camera. He said, are you using it? She said, no, I use one of my phones for selfies. So you don't even know. I said, I bought 2 books. How to learn photography in 20 weeks. Have you used it? No, not really. I don't like reading. So you don't like fucking reading anything. If it's a simple recipe, yeah, but I don't like reading. He's like, Rita wasted money on a book for you then. I said, then she bought a bike, again. He's like, you bought a fucking $1,500 bike, rode it twice, and you're claiming you have heart disease? He said, you're out of shape. He says, you're basically making your life miserable because you're fucking living in misery. You thrive on your own misery. And then you want to use the depression card because you got kicked out of the grocery store because they called you out as a whore. And you claim it's discrimination. Well, they said I was a boy in a dress and boys don't wear that. But when Rita goes in with her advocate, they give her praise about her dress. That's because Rita was wearing a dress to make her look like a whore. You were wearing a dress that made you look like a fucking whore. There's a difference. And she's like, well, technically. And he's like, no, not technically. It's not technically. It's you are a whore. And Chloe's like, I thought about going to Vegas and being a whore. He said, yeah, you don't have any concept. You wouldn't mind. Your superheated sexual arousal disorder, which you claim is female, which we have a DNA test to say you're all male. And so technically it's either severe borderline personality disorder with sexual tendencies, or you're autistic with borderline and bipolar, and your mom doesn't know the difference. He says, right now you are clearly borderline, and borderline people can't take meds. Now, if you're bipolar, it would work, but we have a chart that said you've tried 6 out of all these meds, and you told the psychiatrist at Compass fuck off, so they're not willing to help you. And your insurance is Medicare, so they won't help. And then the psychiatrists out here that we could recommend, they don't take Medicare, so you're stuck with cash only at $600. You can afford it, but you're not going to want to part $600 for the session. That's $600 you'll never see again. So, and then, I told him the story about the Roach Motel, and he's like, so you donated a shit ton of money to the fucking group just so you could tell her to fuck off. And she's fucked off because you were unhappy that Rita got a Roach Motel. And Chloe's like, well, but yeah. And they're like, look, you just threw away more money. You bought a fucking bike you're not using. You bought a trailer that's taking up space. He said, you wanted a storage shed. Who had to instigate the storage shed places? I did. I've called them many times, left voicemails, and I've called and other places, and I've emailed. He said, Rita's doing all this. You're not even lifting a fucking finger to fucking scrub anything. I said the stove needs to be cleaned. I said I'll be getting that done this week. And he said, see, Rita's going to be doing that. I said I already vowed to do the garbage. He's like, and I vowed to vacuum from now on. I said, we got rice on the floor that's not been vacuumed. He says, why? Because you can't get groceries. He's like, do you need anything? Well, no, really, yeah. You just want to go shopping because you want to go shopping. So you was going shopping the other day. I said I needed a picture. Did she get it? Yeah. The other day she forgot the shopping list. Why'd you forget it? I just forgot. You're to take it. And he's like, Rita makes up the shopping list because you don't want her going out to get this virus, and yet you come back with what? Well, I bought what I wanted. Yeah, you bought what you wanted, but when Rita needed something to make dinner, something that she had to wait on, like I said, I've been ordering everything online. Every ingredient I need, I've been ordering it online because I mean, he's like, can you trust Chloe to do anything? I said, when it comes to tobacco, yes. Comes to other issues, no. I mean, that's the fucking problem, She's like, he's like, see, you're fucking sitting there on your ass and you're not doing anything. And that's the fucking problem, That's the fucking problem. I mean, she's, she is getting angry, and she said, this guy brought it upon me to come here because, and he's like, look, you're going to be in your room the whole time and you're not going to clean. I got to let the fucking right people know that you need a group home because you can't take care of yourself. I mean, look, you're having Rita do everything. He says, I would like to call your mom to find out why she's putting the burden on Rita because she doesn't want the burden herself. Well, I have a temper and I get mad easy. Oh, so you flip out on everything. He says, what's the triggers like, Rita? And the way he was talking with group home, she actually was listening. But, I said at home, group home word is a trigger. I said fucking entitlement's a trigger. And the world knows her is a trigger. And, doing the ancestor cash is a trigger. And she's like, don't do that. And he's like, hey, she can do what she wants here. She's making a point. I mean, literally, Chloe's just fucking losing it, I mean, she was fucking getting mad. Finally, they said, we can't help you because, you know, unless you do something fucking stupid where the courts issue you a direct order, he says, you don't want to get Rita in trouble. I mean, he says, you had a chance to fucking go to a group home in Seattle, said you bought a train ticket because you know that was coming down the pipe, so you fucking left. Literally. You were in a homeless shelter, they're going to put you in a halfway house, which was going to put you in a group home. And you would have been on that. You don't, and he says, you know why you don't want a fucking group home? Is because you don't want your money controlled. You don't want to be controlled, but the group home will control you. He says, think of it, you have freedoms right now. If you just did your fucking job and not put all the burden on Rita, where Rita's fucking hurting. I mean, literally, and she's like, well, it's, and then I said, well, the other reason my video, sir, was flagged because, is she attacked the fucking APS lady, called her out, attacked my cousin-in-law again, called her out, attacked, other things, and there's people messaging me, and I showed him the voice, and he's like, that's wrong, that wrong, but he says right there's people watching and knowing Rita's being fucking abused verbally, and you're sitting there thinking it's okay. This is what is considered a form of domestic violence. And Chloe's like, well, and he's like, an accident on the door isn't an accident. You punched it. She's like, well, I didn't know it was that, he's like, look, you can't maintain your control. You need anger management. You need therapy, and you won't get it. And he says, on these islands, I said, well, she wants to leave. Then what's holding you back? Well, my mom doesn't want me home because of the pandemic, and I can't go off island without being quarantined. He says, yeah. He's like, you're jeopardizing your own safety and health because you want to use the mental health card as a crutch when you could get help, but you refuse help. So if you lose your benefits, I mean, he's like, look, you're basically pulling the biggest scam in the world, and the state's got to know about it because you basically can't do anything. Well, I sent a 40-page letter out to Social Security explaining all of it, what she does and doesn't do. I mean, I said it took 5 weeks for the bunny to have his cage cleaned. He says, who takes care of the bunny? I said, 99.5% of the time I fill the water bowl, give him food every morning. And I make sure he's got hay. Oh, that reminds me. I got to get you some hay. Wherever your hay bag is, I'll get you some hay. You want some hay? Oh, yeah, you want some hay. I know you want some hay. Oh, yeah, you want a kiss too, huh? Yeah, he wants a kiss. The guy, I showed the picture, of the bunny, and he thought it was cute. He even told Chloe, when you get angry, cuddle with your bunny. Well, the dog might eat him. I've actually put Moppy and Ebony on the floor together, and Moppy was more curious about the little hopping Don Hopper than, anything. I mean, Moppy's going to have to get used to the bunny running around at times, as long as the bunny doesn't feel threatened, I mean, to me, one of the things I told the guy is I said the pandemic is driving me fucking bonkers. I mean, I'm stuck indoors running a treadmill. I'm fucking walking outside once in a while, going to the coffee shop. I'm going out to get my dip. I'm getting my exercise. Yet, I'm still dealing with, her yelling at me on the streets for keeping quiet. He's like, is that your think time? I said, when Chloe goes out by herself, this is a relief to me because I can actually feel a sign of relief because she's out and I can express myself, but I can't express myself. He's like, you see, you're putting a lot of restrictions on Rita. I mean, the showers. Well, I'm a princess. I deserve it first. I deserve to take a bath. I mean, literally. I told him about the toilet paper thing, too, how much TP we had. He says, you're good for a long while. I said, yeah. I said, we're using up these cheap, rough on the butt rolls that I don't like. I mean, literally to him, he was like, look, you need, literally, they called the mental hospital. None of them wanted. They're like, we tried so many times. One hospital said, well, we will take her, but she has to meet the criteria. So, but she doesn't meet it. She's not truly suicidal. She's not truly homicidal. She isn't a threat to herself. Well, that's why they discharged her and said, look, you want to run all the way to a mental hospital because you can't get groceries that you need a mental hospital, and the truth is you're running away from your fucking problems. That's what her mom says all the time, And he's like, look, you're fucking running away from the fucking problems. So I'm checking the pandemic news real quick. So we almost have 5 away from 137,000 dead. Today, in 9.5 hours or so, we have 27,000. Yesterday, we superseded with almost 72,000 new cases. And I mean, literally, that is just, not cool. And to me, I think it's wrong, I mean, literally. The guy was nice. He was just like, look, you're basically having Rita do everything for you, and you won't even pick up a finger to fucking make a phone call. Well, Rita knows what we need. And he's like, yeah, you're using Rita as fucking mama to do everything because you think you're a baby and you're entitled. You're entitled to pick up your fucking phone and fucking call who you need to call and make things work. Instead, you won't even call a fucking psychiatrist. Rita, did you? I said, I've called every place I can. They don't take Medicare. They want cash. And they don't want to deal with someone with autism, bipolar, or borderline. Even if she's bipolar or borderline, they don't want to deal with it. And honestly, they are upset, literally. She doesn't like the diagnosis they want to give. Fuck them. She ain't going to go back through them. The clinic here gave her bipolar. She said, fuck you. I'm a fucking borderline and I cut. You don't give me the treatment I want, fuck you. They said, you can't have everything you want. She said, yeah, I can. If I'm going to be paying, I get what I want. If I don't pay, fuck them. They're just milking the cash cow. And I don't want med. And the guy said, well, if you're heavily medicated, Rita would be fucking taking care of you. That's why you need a fucking group home. You can't be fucking sitting on your bed all day fucking masturbating and fucking being on your phone while heavily medicated because you can't do anything. That means you fucking need to be fucking, that's, the guy asked me, how much do you sleep? I said, 3 to 5 hours, give or take. He's like, well, what keeps you from sleeping? I said, well, I have weird nightmares, and I have nightmares, and I have weird dreams, and then I have, the pandemic's worrying me, and, and yeah, so it was just like, what do I do? And, he's like, well, if you ever wanted a hospital, I don't think you need it. What you need to do is have someone you can talk to from time to time. It can give you some guidance. He said the people that want you're looking for guidance doesn't know shit because they want to fucking sit there and play both sides, your side and their side, like Republicans and Democrats. He said no. What you need to do is fucking think about. I said I got too many people demanding stimulus updates. And he's like, look, Congress ain't gonna be in for 10 days, so wait 10 days. Otherwise, just don't focus on the pandemic. And yet, you know, literally, he was just the nicest guy in the world. Literally, he's just like, look, you don't need to fucking spend money unless you have to. You guys got enough supplies to get you through several months, and yet you're fucking. Yeah, literally, he says your stomach problems because you eat too many hot, spicy foods, and what you need is to let your ulcers heal. Well, I need to see someone about that, and they're like, they were worried about me. They thought maybe I had cancer or something because my voice is cracking, and I said, well, I must have tore it when I told Chloe to pipe it one day because she, and I told him. Someone thought me and Chloe was doing this as a show on YouTube. He said, no, Chloe's temper is what's the problem. She can't control it. She won't control it. She refuses to control it. Well, I said, I've even tried to teach her the Bible, and it didn't work. He's like, look, Rita's been trying to be a teacher to you, too. And all you get is you don't want to do it because you want to fucking do it your way. If you want to do it your way, then you should be in a group home and let the group home tell you what to do because you can't even pick up after yourself. He even said he could send a team of nurses in to help clean my place. A generous donation, of course. And it would be done. Unfortunately for Chloe, she's just like, literally. I said her bad reputation's got no maid wants help. He's like, yeah. He was like, everyone knows her bad reputation. That's what she even trolls on Facebook. Literally. And, I told him that I needed to get some new towels and bath mats. That's all we need for the rest of the year. And he's like, then why haven't you done it? Because I didn't get permission. I said, you wanted me to get the wrapping paper, but you won't tell me what color, type, or anything. So I got a whole shopping cart full on Amazon. He said, Rita has done so much for you, and you can't lift 1 minute or 2 minutes of your time to go through the list and say, no, I don't want this, I don't want that, I don't want this. Instead, you're like, order it all, and then when you have fucking no room in your house because you got 90 rolls of wrapping paper, you're going to be wondering why. And I told him the other day, I said she wants me to reorder beef jerky. He's like, why? Because she keeps eating jerky faster and faster, and hot and spicy jerky. And he's like, that's another thing. You need to slow down on hot and spicy. That's what's killing your stomach. The guy knows what he's talking about, but Chloe, and then Chloe's like, well, I don't really want meds because it'll make me fat. He's like, well, that's a chance. You want your temper controlled. And she's like, well, you want me in a group home. He said, I didn't want you in a group home, but you might end up there because you won't fucking do things for yourself. The same goes with the, the phone calls or the emails or whatever, And he's like, you got a camera, you're not using. You got a bike, you're not using. You spend $500 on a doggy trailer, you're not using. You claim you have heart disease and you can't get up the hill, you're unfit for a bike. You need to fucking get into it. Ride a little bit every day and you'll get it broken properly. And then you can ride up hills with no trouble. You have goals you can't even meet because you're basically using an excuse to live in misery. The state would really love to see how you invested $1,500 on a bike, $500 on a trailer, and you ain't using it. He said, how much was the camera? I said, it's about $900 with all the lenses. $900 for a camera and lenses, and yet you won't fucking use it. Well, I mean, literally, she had no answers. And I said, I have a camera and I want to use it, but I got to get around to charging the battery and plugging it in and using it and testing it out, taking photos around the house. Once I get that, I said I installed Photoshop for my computer to handle editing, and I got it all set up. He's like, you've done so much, Rita, and yet uh, for her, I mean. And then he turned around and said, look, what is the other things that make you worry and be depressed? She's like, well, I live on an island and no one likes me. And he's like, well, I wonder why no one likes you. Your temper's the problem. And I said, well, she's also worried that if we have a stage 2 lockdown, that a second lockdown, that stores will be closed. He said, more likely they will. If they do, like with some of us on the island, we're fucking prepared by stockpiling. He says, you're probably the most stock prepper out there on this island, but you're doing what you have to, and yet you're stuck indoors. Whereas he's like, you should be feeling happy that Rita made sure that you have toilet paper and paper towels, you have shampoo and conditioner, you have shaving cream and razors, you have body wash and bar soap, you have everything you need to survive all the way till next year, and yet you're fucking sitting there being like, eat. He's like, if you moved, you wouldn't be able to take your bike with you, or the trailer, or the fucking toilet paper or anything. So Rita would end up with it, which isn't a bad deal, but still, that'd be making her survive till next year. You, on the other hand, you won't even lift a finger to clean. She's like, well, I'm going to the farmer's market in the morning if you discharge me, and I really, when I get home, I'm so out of, getting up the hill that I don't want to do anything. And he's like, yeah, you want to sit on your phone and masturbate, jack off. He's like, that's a fucking life for a fucking person who just wants to be lazy. He said, lazy, it's like fucking lazy cat, and that meme. And he's like, don't have anything good to say, just fucking copy it and put it on a meme. Fucking lazy cat. I mean, literally, well, I told him the other day I had to make arrangements for the vet for Moppy and Ebony, me, and he said to me that I'm going to buy a motorhome. He says, look, you're basically lashing out with your temper 2, 3 in the morning, whatever the fucking problem is, and you're fucking using the manager. The manager could give you an eviction as soon as the moratorium lifts. Then what? You'll run home to Mama and Rita's under a bridge. I said, well, I have my family coming. I'm going to bring this up. He says, please do, because your family might be the only one that can take you in, because Chloe's fucking running home with all that money because she's fucking found a way. I said, some ways I think Chloe wants to fucking cause me to be evicted. And he says, he said, Chloe, are you really trying to do anything you can to make it so you have to leave this island? Because, there's resources for both of you out here. You're throwing away your resources, Rita's time, everyone else's time and energy to help you, and yet all you want to do is fucking run home. Your mom doesn't want you. You want to run to a Pennsylvania mental hospital, and they'll get the records from us because it's, Medicare and Medicaid, and it's all in the database. And he says, they'll pull it up and find out that you had meds, you didn't take the meds, they're not going to want to help you, and you don't meet the criteria. Most of the criteria is nationwide. You're not homicidal, suicidal, or a threat to yourself or others. Now, making threats against others, that's classified, but, they're words, unless you have a plan to go and hang, say, law enforcement, or shoot them, or steal their gun, or stab them. It's all hearsay. You're just gonna, you're an attention seeker. I mean, you came up here, we're charging you for our time and the hospital room for both you and Rita. Rita always pays her bills. You, on the other hand, you're going to have Rita basically cut a check for, you had an emergency room, and then if we held you and we sent you off, it cost $6,000, not $60,000, $6,000 for an ambulance. I mean, literally, it would cost that much just for her to leave the island on an ambulance, bring the ambulance up here, pick her up, take her to the hospital. $6,000. I mean, literally. So he said unless she does something fucking pretty damn stupid, she's gonna fucking, I mean, he said, look, you're fucking coming up here to be in a mental hospital because you can't clean. It's in the record. Oh, I'm so suicidal. The reason the hospital put you in the one time is you made threats against the president. They put you in the hospital, but they didn't fucking involve you because you went voluntarily. You got out. He said the second time you went back, you begged them to put you on meds again, same meds because you ran out, but you didn't take the time to go to the places that could refill your meds. You just fucking came here after you ran out. Third time you went there, because you had an argument with Rita, and then shit hit the fan, and they wanted you to stay in Seattle. Instead, you found a way home, and other things happened. You ran away, you got on a Greyhound bus, went straight there, because you went from the Greyhound bus to the hospital, and the hospital wondered why you fucking went from Grant County halfway across the state to fucking Seattle to be put in. Well, the hospital here would do it, and the hospital there would do it. He's like, the hospital was doing their job. You didn't meet the criteria. You could have had outpatient. We choose outpatient over inpatient, but you don't want outpatient. You want to say your diagnosis is borderline, which is true, but at the same time, you could be bipolar as well, but that's a hard one to diagnose. So, and they said they offered you an 8-man team, social workers, case workers, psychiatrists, psychologists, nurse practitioners, everything to get you medicated. You refused. You fucking got up, said fuck you, went to, in your record here it says you went to fucking another clinic, and they tried setting you up, and then they said you're borderline, clearly the original diagnosis. Then when you couldn't, when you were arguing with Rita and you said you were gonna pack up and leave, she said, fine, do it. You're an adult, you can leave the state, but you're not gonna get disability. So what happened? She went to another clinic. The same damn thing happened. Then when she didn't get the results she wanted after 2 appointments, she left and went to another place. And they kept sending her back to the main one. So she finally said, fuck it. Then it's in your records, refuse your medical records. Now Social Security has your records and you got approved. You got approved because there's too many diagnoses and no one knows which one. And until we can weed it down by getting you treatment, you are basically not doing it. That you could have went there, but you have Medicare now, so they won't take you. But you could have went before then. I mean, the guy was fucking straight up arrow with Chloe. I mean, he was rude at times, swearing a bit, but he was basically honest as hell and said, look, you've done all this, yet you don't want, you're basically having Rita cook for you. Now she's got garbage detail, fine by me. I don't mind running outside. Cardboard detail for Rita, cleaning recycling bins, and she'll vacuum. All you got to do is what? Scrub the stove, put a few things away, organize, and you can't because of the grocery store? What do you guys need right now? I said towels and bed sheets and a bath mat set. That's it. And you can't, literally, I said I had to scrub the toilet down the other day because, she kept saying her depression, before the grocery store, what was the depression? I was like, I don't remember. So you don't remember why you were depressed and you couldn't clean the toilet. And when it did get done, I mean, literally, I said I've had to have her buy Drano many times to unclog the drain in the tub. He's like, why is the tub clogged? Well, she cleans the roasting pans and their grease, the bunny's hay, the bunny's pellets, and I have to put in a gallon of Drano like every couple months. He's like, every couple months, because you don't want to fucking, I said, the sink piles up. People tell her to do the dishes. She won't do it. Now I'm doing the dishes. He said, so how are you doing the dishes? Got a dishwasher. Rinse them out, throw them in there, flip a switch. Done. He said, so you're fucking doing dishes with a little portable dishwasher, countertop dishwasher, and yet now that that's done, I said, yeah. I said once every 3 months or so, she takes out a screwdriver out of the fucking toolbox and unscrews the vacuum and pulls all the dog hair out. He's like, you're fucking getting it easy there, literally. Chloe's like, well, I pay my rent, and I pay my part of my electricity, and I pay. And he's like, yeah, you pay. Rita's how many times has Rita paid? 51 months. 51 months. Rita's paid the electric bill, the fucking internet bill, used all her money and everything she had to fucking feed you when you ran out of food stamps, and yet you're fucking saying that now that you're paying rent, you should be fucking sitting in a room on your phone masturbating, and someone told you to do this? He said, no, you should still be doing your fucking chores. That's all you need to do. I mean, literally, you want to fucking make an excuse. Oh, I go up and down hills. It drains me. And then he's like, yeah, Takes you, what, 3 to 5 hours or more to go to a grocery store? What do you need? I said, she doesn't need anything. And then he's like, you have the audacity to tell Rita to buy all this extra food, and then it goes to waste. He says, you're wasting food. You're wasting money. You can't cook. You can't clean. You want to fucking jack off all day. You want to say you're a true female with fucking a female problem, which you don't have. You're all male, and yet... And she's just sitting there taking it because she knows if she fucking lashes out the guy, he's got her. So she's just like listening, you know. And he's like, look, you got too much burdens on Rita. Your family's put too much burdens on Rita. Your family doesn't want you home. He says, how many times have you called your parents? I call every time we argue. Argue about what? Cleaning. So you want me to put you in a mental hospital because you can't fucking clean. Well, I'm so depressed because the grocery store. Who's the fucking fault, ma'am? The fucking walked into a fucking grocery store dressed as a whore. And he's like, right now we can look at you and we can think you're a whore because you're not wearing pants. You're just what? I have a sensory disorder. Doesn't matter. Sensory disorder doesn't give you the right to fucking walk in with just your ass cheek showing with something so low that your butt's jiggling. Well, they said Rita's dress looked nice. Well, Rita's dress probably did look nice. She wasn't dressed as a whore, was she? No. Then think about it. You're doing things that a true woman wouldn't fucking wear. Well, I'm not just any female. Yeah, you're trying to be a female too hard. If fucking you were living a normal woman's life like Rita is, you'd be accepted more. But no, you're fucking living in misery because you want misery. You want to fucking use an excuse. Oh, I went to the store and got Rita's meds and now I'm home and, you know, or went to the one-off island to go get groceries. But you won't let Rita go to the grocery store unless she has an advocate with her. And he's like, what type of fucking life is that? Besides that, Rita's ordering every ingredient seasoning she needs to make her lamb at home. Well, you know, I mean, literally, and I'm a little tipsy, so I'm like, yeah, and he's like, and Rita's drinking more because of this. When will you learn that you're causing more health problems for Rita? You got her stressing out, you could cause her to have a heart attack, and you're sitting there saying, I mean, he's like, you love fucking arguments. He's like, you love causing arguments. You're trying to do everything you can to get off this island. You have the money, just fucking pack up and leave. But just remember, you do that, you go to the nearest mental hospital, they're going to get your records, it's in a database, and they're going to make the decision that you just ran. And they're going to ask questions to you. 2-hour interview. Why'd you fucking fly from Seattle to Pittsburgh? And she's like, well, because the hospitals here suck. No, we do our job. You don't meet the criteria. The hospital said that when they called the social worker for the hospital. They don't meet the criteria. I mean, literally. I mean, he's like, what type of life is it? Everyone would love the life. Sit on your fucking phone, pick your nose, eat it, fart, take a shit, and piss. And have everyone hand and foot you. Oh, food, clothing, whatever. Oh, you want to go clothes shopping? Okay, I'm going to go clothes shopping. But, I mean, literally, Rita could order you shoes tomorrow. She's been waiting to order shoes. She knows your size, but, oh, you're picking on shoes. Oh, well, you know. I mean, the way it is everyone around me is fucking, you know, literally. I mean, I'm fucking fed up with, you know, he said, look, Rita's fed up because all you want to do is fucking cause arguments on YouTube. Rita says one wrong word to try to talk to someone, and he says, what's the triggers anyways on YouTube? I said, well, I'm sitting here trying to talk to people about stimulus and the plague and, you know, the coronavirus, and Chloe's going on about useless crap. Oh, about Cabela's working there. But she says, Rita's making a video about something that's strictly important for the fucking people, and she's trying to help people. You get her video flagged because you want to go after the APS lady. What type of fucking person are you? Well, I have a mental illness. He said, your mental illness needs to be locked away in a fucking group home. I mean, if you can't cook, you can't clean, you waste fucking money, and you buy junk that you don't need. Yeah, you need to be there. Someone needs a payee of you. Well, I thought I was doing good. Right. You thought being on disability would lighten your load. Yeah, they're right. What is disability going to do for you? Nothing. Pays your bills. But if you're going to fucking sit there and, you owe Rita so much, and yet you're just sitting there, and Rita's sitting there waiting for the pandemic to end and waiting to see how bad it's going to get, and yet you're sitting there, wanting to use I'm depressed because they can't go shopping at the grocery store. What do you fucking need? You got the farmers providing you meat. You got the farmers providing you eggs. You got the farmers providing you with salad. All you do is have an advocate pick up for you, or because of Rita's health, and that you're worried about Rita's health. You're worried about her health, but you're not worried about her dying because you're fucking putting too much stress on her. And he's like, look what you're doing to her. You're fucking sitting there snapping at her. And he said the word COVID, corona, whatever. She uses COVID. It's basically in a term for the current pandemic. If she says corona, fine. But you can't fucking snap over it. I said I snap back because she wants to, it's, well, the COVID's a trigger because of the grocery store. And he's like, look, I don't give a shit if it's a trigger. You got too many fucking triggers. You need to be in a group home. Literally, you want to fucking sit there and dictate what Rita can and can't say on YouTube, can and can't say in her home. She's the main leaseholder. She's the responsible one if you fucking put a hole in the door. Well, don't say it's an accident again because we know you did it out of anger. He's like, think about what you do. You open your mouth. You don't think. Look at Rita. Rita's sitting there listening and thinking before she acts. And she's like, well, Rita is different from me. I have a mental illness. You're using the mental illness as a fucking crutch. I'm a mandatory reporter. I gotta let the reporting parties know that A, you abuse Rita. B, you fucking, using Rita. And C, you won't get off your ass. I said, well, she also got my video flagged because she was talking about doing this and doing that to my cousin. And she doesn't want my cousin here. She might bring the virus, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, Rita needs her family. She needs a couple days away from you. This is the perfect opportunity. Well, Rita paid the hotel, and Rita's paid the ferry, and he's like, good for Rita. Rita needs her time. I mean, literally, you're fucking sitting there, and you're not fucking doing anything. This is your time to fucking clean the place while she's fucking away. I mean, literally. You don't just sit there and put her fucking papers in a box or on the bed. You fucking... if you do anything, put in a box, tell her your papers are here, clean up everything else, scrub everything. Instead, you just want to sit there and, I told him about how she wanted to go to a mental hospital over fucking headphones. He says, really, I couldn't find my earbuds. And I called the crisis team, and Rita was on the phone to her father-in-law. And he said, how'd you get out of that one, Rita? Well, the crisis team. Simple. I ordered 9 more pairs of headphones and said, you can't lose 9 more fucking pairs. Some of them are fucking fixed heads, like noise canceling, and other ones are earbuds. The guy turned around and said, even though he bought 9 pairs, that should fucking keep her like this. Fixed headphones like this. And yet, he was like, good for you. You fucking fixed it. I said, I'm doing everything I can. It's like I'm preparing her to go fly fishing. He says, yeah, her going fly fishing is like fucking finding a needle in a haystack. She's going to really fucking go fly fishing. Even if you get all the gear, it's going to sit in the corner and get dusty because she won't fucking learn. She doesn't want to learn. All she wants to do is... He's like, you don't have persistent genital arousal disorder. What you have is possibly overlapping with bipolar, which means you're super sexually aroused and you can jack off all the time. But they need to make sure the meds manage. If the meds balance out properly and balance you out, well, I don't want to be a zombie. Well, that's where if you are a zombie and you have to be under these heavy doses, then you're in a group home. Well, I don't want a group home. So you're willing to basically abuse Rita because you can't control your temper because of it. And yet you don't want to be on meds because you're afraid your freedom's going to be taken. He says, this is why the state the government has certain programs for people with bipolar. He says, what you're having is too many psychotic episodes all the time. They're snapping over the fucking littlest thing. You're fucking dwelling on the past. Neighbor fucking robs Rita and assaults you. Rita's put it behind her. You won't. Guy upstairs walks like an elephant. You fucking report the son of a bitch. Rita's like, oh well, the bastard's noisy. I mean, literally. I mean, everything that he said last night, this morning, was perfect, spot on. I mean, literally. He's like, look, we're in a pandemic. You want to fucking buy only what you need, and you want to go fucking buy hoodie sweatshirts. He's like, and secondly, if you take too damn fucking long in the fucking bathroom looking at your little thing with your panties on and just a shirt, and you're like, oh yeah, look how hot I am. You're basically asking to be assaulted, and you're asking to get hurt, and you're asking to be fucking porked. You're trying to fucking live your fantasy as a woman by fucking wanting to get fucking porked. He said, if you're mentally stable, I would sign you off on surgery tomorrow, but you're not mentally stable because of it. Rita's mentally stable. Rita's fucking taking the fucking brunt of the abuse. Rita's fucking being a slave to you, and all you're doing is fucking... I mean, literally, he was like very vocal about it. He's like, look, I mean, literally, you're causing your own medical problems because, A, you're fucking... they had to give her a soda to calm down her stomach because... a non-caffeinated soda because of it. And he says, look, you have anxiety. We know this. But you won't get a primary care physician. Well, no doctor wants me. Did you try? I said, I've put in requests for different doctors on the islands. One will get back to me with yes or no. In the meantime, I've done everything I can by email, by phone calls. He's like, look, Rita's done everything for you. And all you want to do is sit there and complain about one little fucking thing like, oh, I can't clean because of the grocery store. He's like, who brought it on yourself dressing like fucking whore? Well, I'm not a whore. He's like, yeah, you are living as a fetish. And she's like, well, not really, but he's like, no, it is really. It's not really, it is really. Literally, he was like, look at your fucking big picture. You're fucking doing what you have to, and you're not doing anything for yourself. You think everything should just fall in your lap because you're mentally disabled. This is why they think that some people need to be having extra help. I said one advocate had a psychiatrist lined up, but that fell through due to the fact that psychiatrist doesn't want to deal with somebody who's transgendered with autism and possibly bipolar and borderline all combined. He said, yeah, it's because borderline people drain people. You're being drained because of the borderline vampire and Chloe. And Chloe says, you are clearly, and Chloe didn't even argue. He says, you are clearly narcissistic because you're sitting there talking about your past, this and that, what happened. He's like, your roommate had a right to pack you up and send you off to fucking San Diego because she didn't want to pay for you, and that was the only way to get rid of you. Rita always tells you there's a door, don't let it hit you on the way out, you won't leave like, because you got it fucking made here. You're going to fucking grind Rita into a ground like a coffee bean, and then you're going to flip the grinder down to a fucking fine thing. I mean, you're basically putting too much pressure on Rita, and you're not doing anything. All you want to do is fucking masturbate and be on your phone. And I told him, I'm tired of the phone. I'm tired of the fucking phone. And he's like, some jackass tells Chloe to fucking sit on her phone and fucking be in her room, and the room's fucking stockpiled with chips, beans, salsa, ramen, toilet paper, paper towels, and other things. And she won't even pick up the stuff on the floor to make room by hanging it up. That tells you right there you're fucking flat lazy. And she's like, well, I'm so disabled. He's like, look, you got too much clothes. Hang them up. You want a storage shed because you want to fucking put stuff in storage that you guys aren't using. Good idea, but still costs money. Well, I mean, I told him, I said, we have 2 sets of dishes, right? 2 sets of plates. My mom's sets, AP sets. Chloe wants to buy a new set. He's like, you want to waste money, even though the plates aren't all broken or cracked or starting. I said, some are starting to crack and chipped. He's like, and you want to spend more money foolishly in a pandemic to buy fucking dish sets. Well, it would fit in the dishwasher, maybe. He's like, maybe. I mean, literally, he's like, maybe. I mean, literally, the way he said it was like, you just want to fucking, you know, if you're planning to move, how are you going to be fucking taking your dishes with you? Does anyone realize the dishwasher's you're going to fucking take it with you? No, I'd leave it with Rita. So you're going to leave a dishwasher with Rita. I'll leave my bike there too. So you're going to leave the bike with her, and the trailer, and the trike, and the ramen, and everything else. And you're going to pack up. Well, the reason I haven't gone out is I need to take time to pack, and I need to find an airline that'll have 2 bags. He's like, so you're willing to spend $300 to go from Anacortes to SeaTac to get on a plane because you don't want to clean. Well, I'm too disabled. Yeah, you just want. Yeah, I mean, he's like, look, I bet you Rita's going to be homeless in the next year because of you, and you're the fault for it because you won't control your temper, and yet you don't have any sympathy for her. It's all about me, and you know, he's like, if you listen to a jackass who's telling you to fucking sit on your phone and masturbate, and pay bills, and that's it. And then I said, well, there's more to this story than meets the eye. And then Chloe said, well, he said to rent a room. I said, he said the same thing to me about it. But the thing is trying to find a room to rent. He says, to rent a room, you need a fucking background check. Sometimes they even check and ask you if you're mental. They can discriminate if it's a private resident trying to rent a room because they want to know who she is, what temperament she has, you know, etc. If she's got her bunny with her, and the manager or the landlord finds out there's a funny smell coming from the house or her room, and turns out the bunny's cage has been empty for 5 weeks, they're gonna ask her to leave because no one wants to walk past her room with a fucking smelly cage with 5 weeks of fucking bunny pellets. I mean, literally. Come here. Let's say hello. You want to say hello on video? Hello, everyone. I'm Ebony Bunny. I mean, look at this. Isn't he cute? I just love this bunny. This bunny is cute. My bunny.
I thought I wouldn't be taking them with me. I wouldn't be taking any animal with me. I wouldn't even have any pets. It's one hard truth, Moppy. When I leave, you're gonna have to live without me. So will you, Ebs. You guys still have to live without me around.
I mean, literally, the guy said to Chloe last night that she's only running away from her problems. Her mom even said that last night on the phone. You're just fucking running away. And her mom said, there's rules. If you can't follow my rules, you don't live with me. Chloe doesn't want to live with rules. She wants to be fucking lazy, is what the guy said. She wants to use the mental illness card, and she wants to fucking turn around and basically say, well, I can't clean because I gotta go get Rita's supplies and going up and down hills. And he's like, you're out of fucking shape. You fucking walk every day, treadmill, ride your bike. He said you could get used to riding your bike if you fucking take it day at a time using it. If you don't use it, you just let it sit, then you're not going to be able to use your bike because you're not practicing. I mean, literally, he's like, everything is, he basically said Chloe's just the excuse maker.
What store do you need me to go to?
I need dip.
That's all you need, right?
Yeah.
That's the reason I'm going out for your dip.
You want me to stay here?
You should, if you don't want to get the virus.
Because I was wondering, because I got the dishwasher I can run.
Yes, run the dishwasher if you need to. I mean, I want to get this done so I can be back here.
So, yeah, I mean, anyways, you know, I mean.
You know what, I'm just going to try not to be in my panties when I go out. That's why I have these on.
I got a dress I wanted to put on today to go out, but, you know, I frankly don't want to spend a lot of money either, you know.
These leggings are skin tight. I got them last year when we were in Portland. I needed leggings at the time, and these are so tight.
Oh, yeah, it reminds me of we talked about Portland last night, you know. And it was funny because the guy was asking, I told him about what happened in Portland, and I said, this guy comes out, blames Chloe for spending $6,000 on food, and made him get a loan to get home to Kentucky because he was going to live with us. And yet, when I came back from the hotel, it was fucking nasty. I mean, this guy was masturbating as much as Chloe was, but he also had fucking takeout bags everywhere, the whole corner. I had to go out to the dumpster like 30 times to get rid of all the trash. And, they wouldn't even let the maid come in and clean. So I finally asked for clean sheets and clean bed sheets and stuff. And they gave it to me and I set it all up. I was fresh out of surgery. And yet, when I was there, I told them I needed these 3 things: the post office, pay the bills, this, and this. They went all clothes shopping, and it was like, Chloe was like, well, he wanted to go clothes shopping. He wanted to be a girl. He's like, oh, I'm a girl in a man's body. I'm a fat man, and he never once. Yeah, and then he wants to blame Chloe for it. Oh, Chloe didn't want to do the post office, didn't want to do this, didn't want to get that.
Selfies of himself trying clothes on. I was sitting outside a fitting room. I didn't even try anything on it. I was like, can we go? Can we go?
I mean, I had 3 requests I needed done. Bills paid, go to the Office Depot or Office Max for fucking a ledger and a couple items. And the 3rd item was a case for my Switch. They didn't get anything done for me. And then we were behind 3 months on rent. And I had to pay catch up because that fucker wouldn't do it. He didn't even offer, if he was going to live with us, to pay any fucking bills. It was like, oh, yeah. So you know what? Chloe threw him out. In my opinion, it was a good idea, but still. And then he wants to fucking say Chloe stole from him. He got everything back anyways, but my point is he left in the hotel in a hurry as Chloe threw him out. Chloe's like, look, we're just coming home. A, you snort. B, you fucking masturbate. C, you're a pig. And we can't have this. I mean, literally, Rita and I are going to be behind on, And then on top of that, when I was leaving the hotel, right, I had fresh surgery. The guy looked at me, and the guy was Armenian, sweetest guy in the world. He's like, hey, ma'am, I heard from the hospital, they said that they're paying us. You had surgery? I said, yeah. He's like, how bad? I said, it hurts. I said, I have a sleeping car. And he's like, that's wonderful, ma'am. That's wonderful. I'm like, these are my bags. He's like, okay. Meanwhile, Chloe's standing around, and he finally said, you could load these in the trunk. She's like, oh, that's your job. Well, he argued with her all the way to the train station. Then all of a sudden, again, I was telling this to the guy, and then he goes in, gets a wheelchair for me, puts me in it, says, here you go, ma'am. He unloads the bags, right? Chloe's like, aren't you going to move the bags into the terminal for us? And he's like, no, I'm a taxi driver. So he's like, stay here. Chloe goes in and he argues with her. Next thing, Chloe's coming out with one of those fucking carts, and she stacks up all her bags. In the terminal we go, and she's bitching the whole way. So we had our bags checked in all the way to Seattle. And then from Seattle, we were going to pick them up and take them, because free checking, and take them on the train. So we had a red cap take me to the train, but he was very angry. He's like, you are one lazy girl. He says, you'll never, ever be a girl, because girls, And I gave the guy $20. I'm like, here. He's like, don't worry about it, ma'am. I just can't stand someone who expects me to do everything because they think they're a woman. I mean, literally. I mean, that was his aunt, the taxi driver, and I was telling that guy that, and the guy said, see, even he knows what's fucking right and wrong. You've had fresh off surgery, you can't move a bag. You can't even lift 5 pounds because of stitches, and yet she's sitting there going, I mean, literally. I mean, there's a lot of people around me that they see what's going on and they don't like it. It's like going on YouTube, and live, which I can't do, and turning around and literally watching Chloe scream and yell over fucking something like stupid, you know. Ugh. So, anyways, one of my friends messaged me having air conditioner problems. Where she lives right now, the pandemic is probably killing the virus, but she's in the triple digits and she needs um, she needs you know uh, air conditioning. And because of it, it's hard for her because she needs fucking air conditioning in the triple digits. I want air conditioning too, but our manager thinks the windows will suffice because you get a good breeze and you got box fan, you're good to go, you know. So if you have to use any card, use the red card or cash if you have it. And the farmers market's going strong, so if you do run down there, see if they got any, see if Rob's in and get a rack of goat.
What time is it now?
10:30.
What time is the farmers market in?
1:30.
Okay.
Got plenty of ranch dressing. You want to get a bag of salad. A bag of salad. You can also get 3 or 4 of those sausage things for me too. And maybe they have some eggs available, some fresh eggs. I don't know. Are you keeping your phone on or off? Hold on. What? Okay, so you're turning it on. Fine. You can text me then. You text me. You never do. Anyways, I got my phone being turned on too, so when she gets back home, she can text me. I just, I don't know anymore, So, anyways. I got a stimulus video to do next. I would be, I just think, that things need to happen. She's fucking, angry as hell. So, I do need to get into I think it's Google Photos. Here it is. No, Drive. It might be Google Photos I need. Anyway, look at it. There's might be Google Photos I want. I'm trying to find that picture, that I use. There we go. So yeah, anyways, got it set finally. But anyways, I turned my phone on, so but yeah, someone basically said something about how Chloe's slow as slow can be, and I just couldn't believe it. I mean, literally, Chloe wants to go out all the time, and there's too many people that think she's doing this as a show, and other people think other things. So to me, I just couldn't believe, Chloe had to have a mental breakdown, trying to get put into a hospital, and basically was talking about our friend who's trying to guide us. But, the guy, the mental health professional, the DMHP, the designated mental health professional, said the guy isn't giving the right advice because we're in a pandemic, and two is you can't rent a room when you have to have a background check, and the guy basically said with Chloe's temperament and stuff, it would not go good, and, Chloe would need to basically have a social worker and a caseworker to literally help her with, um, stuff going on. So to me, I'm like, okay, cool. So, but anyways, that's how it is. So, anyways, that's what's going on. So people want to know why I'm doing offline vids. It's easier for me, and then afterwards I can, do other things, like do dishes and other things. Poor little bun, I gotta get him some hay. We bought hay. We got like 2 bags of hay stockpiled away. That's one thing, that we buy, but we only put hay in when, it's. I don't know how to explain the hay thing, but you know how it is. So tonight I'm having leftover lamb. That won't take but an hour to cook. Thank God. Fucking last night's fucking thing. I had to reheat it for an hour and a half extra because the fucking lamb was still red in places. It's like lamb is it's a science. You until you get it mastered. You know, you can buy. The Google's always saying 325, 350, 400. But the thing is you want something slow cooking. Is one thing. By the way, I think the element's going in the stove. It's taking longer and longer to heat the oven up. Before we moved in, the element's fine. I think it's because we use it a lot for baking that the element's going. I think that's what it is. The heating element's taking too long to heat. Once you get it up to that set threshold, then, you want to maintain it as much as possible. So, you know how it is. It's just a thought, but, you know, anyways, I don't know. Um, so yeah, anywho, like I said, it's just been really a busy morning. I got up and had my coffee, and you know, my dip's been pinched into again. I had like 2 cans open, now I'm down to one, and I haven't been dipping much last night. And the reason I drank the Moscato last night was because I opened the bottle, right? And the problem is, if you let Chloe drink, okay, she'll waste. Frickin', that was the thing I was telling the guy. I said to the guy, I said, the only reason why I drank the Moscato first is because it was chilled. And two is, I didn't want it to go to waste. He said, what do you mean go to waste? I said, Chloe opened a bottle of blush, 2 bottles of blush. She never finished it. He's like, you bought wine and then you can't finish it. I'm a lightweight drinker. And he's like, so you left it in the fridge for days and days and then it went bad. She's like, well, he's like, you need to be reminded of your wine. And I said, well, secondly, the glass fills up and then she leaves the glass filled with wine, doesn't touch it, and goes to a soda. And he's like, you're just fucking wasting money, aren't you? I mean, literally, I did tell him I had to get some pillows soon, too, new pillows. He's like, yeah, well, that's a necessity. But, the point is, he's like, we're in a pandemic. And to have someone like that go ahead and, do whatever needs to be done is like trying to find a needle in a haystack, I mean, literally, it's the way it is. I mean, I told him I had to buy ranch dressing. I've had to do this for the salads. And I mean, it was like, well, you don't need salad dressing. It's like, no. And with ranch, I could use it in my lamb too. It's got that nice flavor to go with. But I don't know. I just don't know. So that's how it is. And I, for one, just, I don't know. Mm. So my family member, I sent her some coffee, and I got her mugs here, and she's like, yeah, I just got some coffee. I opened it up this morning. Yum. I mean, literally, I know coffee better than booze. And I'm telling you, you can't go wrong with it. I'm finishing up the Sumatran lean tong myself. Poppy hasn't even tapped into his yet. He's trying to find a fucking container to fucking dump it in. But yeah, me, I like my coffee too. One thing I do truly enjoy is my coffee in the morning. So I will make up another pot. And then when the lean tong's done, I'm going to start drinking up that chocolate coffee, which is going to be yummy too. The chocolate coffee is really good. So I got 3 loads of the dishes today. Be fun. we go. My dishwasher is going. So, I need to, so it's going to be an interesting day, I tell you. So, what's up?
I'm getting you 3 cans of Skull Cherry, if they have it. If they don't, what flavor should I get you?
Not any mint. Regular is fine.
Regular. Maybe you don't like mint.
Yeah, I don't like mint.
You want mercantile to get one?
Yeah, just use the red card. I think that's all we need, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and swing by the market. That meat man's there. See if he's got a rack of goat. I'll text you what needs to be done.
Right.
Hopefully you reply back to me. You never
I'm
do.
not taking the cart, though.
So?
Yeah.
I said find out about a rack of goat. If they
Okay.
don't have a rack of goat, you can always pick up some of those little sausage jobbies if they have them. Maybe 4 for me would be fine. The little sausage rolls. You know what I mean? I love those sausage rolls. The other thing is, when you get back, I can always prepare breakfast, too. I can make up some scrambled eggs for you if you wish. Well,
What's that?
didn't even pay attention, everyone. I said, if you don't bring back any of those little sausage doodads, I can always make up some breakfast when you get home. I can make some scrambled eggs for you you might, if you're going by the store, you might want to get a small container of milk, because I can use that for the scrambled eggs. I don't think you want to use powdered stuff, so I can make some scrambled eggs for you, unless you don't mind the powdered milk. But yeah, get me a thing of milk. I'll make some scrambled eggs this morning for us, and maybe some bacon.
Duck eggs?
Why not? We have duck eggs. We might as well.
Mine over easy.
Fine.
But I will.
Whatever. If you want breakfast.
I'm taking a couple bags with me. In case something comes up.
Like I said, I'll message you or text you. Just check your phone. Thank you. So, sorry everyone. My family and I are talking about coffee this morning. So, anyways, I gotta get this fucking prepared soon to upload. Because, that's how I am. So anyways. So, you know how it goes. So. Moppy looks cute in his little lamp shelf thingy. Anyways, like I said, everyone, my coffee's brewing. I'm going to have to use the restroom. So please check out my stimulus video coming up. This is just about mental health issues and the adventure. I'm ready to go to the next one. So please add, subscribe, please post comments, please leave feedback, suggestions, hit the like, subscribe button. So it's funny for your family, including your dogs, your cats, your bunnies. Thanks for watching, and God bless you in everything you do.